Does a spoiled person know that they're spoiled? This is the question that Spoiled Rotten raises. This is the second segment in the ninth episode of the 11th season of Arthur, and people start to call Muffy spoiled. And the reason this happens is actually quite interesting because Francine is saving up to buy these pair of shoes, these trainers, these sneakers, and she's got just enough money to get them. She goes to the shop, and it turns out that Muffy's bought the last pair, or one of the last pairs, and there are none left. And Francine calls her a spoilt brat. And I didn't expect to hear the word brat in Arthur. Now, it's not a terrible word, but it's not a word that usually appears in kids' TV shows, so I was quite surprised by that. And she begins to question whether she is spoiled. There's a clothing drive at school, and she goes about it the wrong way. And she's got a few lessons to learn about what it means to be spoiled. And I think it definitely raises an interesting question. On the one hand, there will definitely be children watching this who are spoiled, who don't realize they're spoiled, and it can maybe make them look at their life and how they live compared to other people and the privileges that they have. Because if you've grown up with privilege, you might not necessarily know that that's not normal, or it's not common. It's normal if it's your situation, but it's not a common situation. And it can definitely be educational, but there's also a bit of education in this about how to go about telling somebody they're spoiled, because her friends are kind of nasty to her about it, which is definitely a hard way to teach her this lesson. And yeah, it works, but there are certainly ways to go about it. The only thing I didn't like in this episode is what Muffy did with the trainers. I won't spoil it, but I don't think she did the right thing. At least, well, I'll expand on that with a spoiler warning in a second. But it's otherwise a really good episode. There are some good lessons in this one, and it can make us all reevaluate our lot in life, and be thankful for what we have, and realize that if we can give more to other people, to people in need, maybe we should. I think it's a hard lesson she had to learn, but it's a good episode. So a spoiler warning from now. Muffy gives her trainers to this store that either donates clothes to people in need or it sells certain items and then donates the money to a soup kitchen. Fantastic idea. Absolutely love it. But Muffy donates her trainers to this shop, which on the one hand, yes, somebody will buy them. That money will go to the soup kitchen. I think that's brilliant. But shouldn't she have told Francine about it? Yeah, if she'd just given her shoes to Francine, Francine A wouldn't have had the satisfaction of buying them, B, the soup kitchen would have missed out on, I think it was like $39. But shouldn't she have said, hey Francine, I'm giving these shoes to this shop, maybe you want to go and get them before somebody else does? I feel like that was a really, I don't want to say a selfish thing to do because it's not a selfish thing, but she knew how much Francine wanted them. And imagine if somebody else got to them first. I just feel like they didn't go about that the right way. But other than that, a lot of really nice messages, a really enjoyable episode. As is usually the case, definitely a really quality episode of Arthur with some really good messages.